Hi everybody, it's Miss Jen from the Lewis Public Library. Today, I'm going to share one of my favorite picture books with you. It's by Vera Brogsol and it's called Leave Me Alone. Here we go. Once, there was an old woman. She lived in a small village, in a small house, with a very big family. Look at them all in there. That's a lot. Winter was coming. That meant she had some very important knitting to do. But it was not getting done. Can you see why? Her grandchildren were very curious about her knitting. Were you supposed to hit the ball with a stick? Could you eat it? Could you make your brother eat it? Why did the ball get smaller and smaller as you chased it? The old woman was at the end of her rope. So, she made her bed as neatly as she could. She swept the floorboards until they were more or less shown. She drank tea from her samovar. She packed up her things in a big sack, and as she left, she shouted back, "Leave me alone!" The old woman walked through the deep, dark forest. She made a fire so that she could see what she was doing. Then she sat down and began to knit. Uh-oh. The bear family was very curious about the light from her fire and about what she might taste like. "Leave me alone!" the woman shouted. But they didn't listen, because bears don't speak English. So she picked up her sack and left. The old woman climbed up the mountainside. It was cold, so she found a sheltered place, and she sat down and began to knit. The mountain goats were excited to have a visitor, especially one that brought snacks. Goats like to eat anything. "Leave me alone!" the old woman shouted. But the goats were too busy fighting over the red ones, which they all agreed were the best. So she picked up her sack and left. Do you see her? There she goes. The old woman climbed higher and higher up the mountain. She reached the top and climbed out onto the moon. Look, there she goes. She found a rock that was shaped like a chair. She sat down and began to knit. The little green moon men had never seen a woman before, old or otherwise. They examined her with handheld scanners that went beep, pop. "Leave me alone!" the old woman shouted. But the little green moon men couldn't hear her because they didn't have any ears. So she picked up her sack and left through a wormhole. The void on the other side of the wormhole was very dark and very, very quiet. She was absolutely, completely, utterly alone. It was perfect. Soon, she had no more yarn and 30 little sweaters. and she was all alone. So, she put the 30 sweaters into her big sack. She swept the void until it was a nice matte black. She had a cup of tea from her samovar. Then she picked up the sack and left through another wormhole. When she came out the other side, everything was right where she'd left it. And she didn't say a word. The end. That's called Leave Me Alone by Vera Brogsol. I do really love that book. Family is a lot of fun, but sometimes you just need your space. I look forward to reading you another book soon. Have a great day.